Hi everybody and welcome back to Hex Token channel. Hope you guys are enjoying yourself. Here we are, hex.com. Now I had to record this because the audio didn't work the first time. So here we go again, round two. And let's get straight into it. So we're going to look at the Hex price prediction. And of course, here is our chart that we've been using. At the moment, it's a daily chart on a linear scale. And of course, we've had our rise up here. We've done our review up to 50 cents basically, and we've come down from there. So obviously we're up there 19th of September and started moving down. And we've gone down a couple of ladders here, down, and we tested support where we had our previous resistance, of course, over here twice, and that became support. And of course, we slightly fell down through that a couple of times, and then finally broke down on the 9th. So the low was 14.5 cents, but of course, Hex chart does get impacted by bot trading, front run people buying and selling, so that may have influenced this chart as well. So anyway, on any case, we talked about the price possibly going to level 1 here, down 15 cents. Once it broke that, it did hit that, of course, at 14.5 cents. Then of course the long-term support line, this big purple line, of course, is the long-term trend, and of course you can see that on the scale. When you scale back here, you can see that there's support there on the linear scale, and of course if it hit that, that wasn't and broke that, that wouldn't have been very good at all, but it didn't. And so far it's had two nice beautiful green candles, and that looks pretty good to me. And so far we're well over the support line, 8.5 cents, up at 19.1 at the moment. Of course, we've been as high as 19.5 cents today, and of course that bodes well for the future. So this green arrow, it's basically if we head this direction, that's pretty cool. And of course, stay over the support line. And the other thing, of course, is that the green, if we can get over 24 cents, that'd be very bullish, because that was the last step that we came down on. So that would be pretty cool. So far, we're tracking against the forecast. This forecast was made around the 26th. If you watch the video, I'll leave all the previous weekly price videos. This is number 4 in that series, of course. And you can see that we've pretty much been keeping to the general direction. Did go a bit lower than I anticipated. Sometimes I anticipated a spike below the support, but not such a big candle below the support. But that's the markets for you. And of course, now we're moving back up as well. So if we can get some momentum here, looks pretty good. I do feel like the market's settled down a bit here, so that gives me a bit more confidence that we'll stay above the support line. All right, so once again, any big seller could move the chart in the wrong direction, or buy in the right direction. So we'll watch that too. So far the orange prediction is still in play. A double top up to 50, 48 or something like that, and then move sideways, and then back, and then move to rally. But we do need PulseChain news, and of course that was estimated around 15th. We got the tweet, of course, from Richard about the 18th, the anniversary for the big payday last year in Hex, which was the 18th for staking, and then the payout on the 19th. So will be interesting to see whether we get any news around the 18th, possibly talking possibly a launch date. Obviously, we've got PulseChain and stuff like that. So that leads me pretty much in to the timeline. But before we do that, let's just quickly look and revise at the price target at the moment. So I'm going to drag that in. Of course, price target was about $3.20, and of course, a good chance of that is us hitting about $1.80. Once again, if we don't get PulseChain news in around the PulseChain testnet phase, which could start imminently this week, then we could get this chart here just scaling over. So everything would just translate over in mathematics. So just remember that. But so far, tracking very well for the most part, apart from this one day. So that's pretty cool on the prediction and the review there. So let's just jump over to the timeline. Of course, this chart is unique to this channel. We've got the PulseChain sacrifice here, and that's looking pretty cool. So that was way back at the 15th July, ran through until the 3rd of August, of course, PulseChain sacrifice. We've currently got the dotted line with the Mercy tail. I did do a video on this, so you can check that out too. And of course, PulseChain testnet 1.0 has started, of course, and of course that's going on through the 10th. Here, I've updated the chart to reflect that, so it's current day. And of course, we're expecting PulseChain testnet 2 to start anytime. And when I checked earlier today, it had not started. We're still on PulseChain testnet 1. So when we get PulseChain testnet 2, we should see a branded block scout, and of course an announcement should probably be made as well. We'll see improved validator rotator. It may or may not be obvious based on the logs on the GitLab, and of course initial distributions. That will be the talk of the town when that come out, and it could be quite FOMO, and it may very well help with getting our green candles continuing on. You just never know, right? So that would be the talk of the town when it comes out. It will make the nomics.com fiasco look like nothing, I think, once the distribution points come out. All right, so that's pretty cool. Also, this tweet, of course, we got down here. I've already gone through this. This is about the 11:18 p.m. Birth time, so a bit of a Easter egg potentially, and of course. It came out the 5th of November, and of course it's on the 18th. So if we get PulseChain testnet launching now, could be a short one, maybe 9 days if it runs really well. They may run it longer, of course, up to the birthday, of course, for Hex, which is the 2nd, and it's the date here on the 2nd. And of course, we could get announcements there, announcements here, a couple opportunities for that. So that should be pretty awesome. But hey, the price is moving up here too. This is on the same. This is the same scale of daily as linear as just as this chart is showing. All right, let's jump over to the log scale, and this is a weekly chart on the log scale. It goes all the way back to the beginning of time, the beginning of Hex, and of course this log scale. And you can still see we're still in a beautiful uptrend on the log scale on the weekly. So pretty cool. And these aren't completely parallel, but they're pretty close. But you can see the baseline's fine, and so we've got all the way up here. So pretty nice on the log scale, looking still very bullish. And the log scale is better for long-term view, right? So I think that's pretty neat on that point of view. Let's jump to the staking. Of course, this is the 6 month. Instead, normally I do 4 months on a daily. There's the 6 month. Of course, we've got these candles here, 14th of November. So we've got a couple of these candles in here, and of course 2 big ones around the end of November, beginning of January. Well, that's on 2nd of December is on the day of the Hex birthday with Richard Hart, so that's pretty cool. And then we've got a clear room, of course, all the way to the 17th December, and then on to the 1st of January. We've got 642 thousand T-shares out of 11 million, 642 going goodbye. And of course, after that, 2022 looks amazing. And look at that. Where will these? Will they sell? Will they restake for T-shares, or will they stake short term? Of course, if they stake short term with the share price, going up a parabolic curve at the moment, it seems, then they're going to get less and less shares. The OG is so go on and stake some long T-shares, get rid of that supply of the market, and that's more pumpamentals. That's the whole point of Hex. Stake it, relax, and get the reward, delayed gratification at the end. All right, so this is the candle. This is the next big candle, which is the 9th of May 2022. So otherwise, we've got a free run right through here, and so much good news coming up here. Of course, we've got the highest of stakes in the second half of the year. It does not shine on here, of course, but we've got in December, of course, not just have we got the birthday, but which we go back to this chart, this one here. We've just got the birthday here, but on December we've got Hex scale, which is equivalent to grayscale. That's not that's just a placeholder name, but that's going to initially attract private investors. They're going to reach certain targets. They are very confident they will hit those, and then they'll be able to go public and to institutional type investors, big VCs, and maybe even IRAs and things like that, retirement superannuation type things. So it'll be interesting to see how they expand that. That may happen in those stages, but definitely that's all buying demand, And Kinetics was talking about them staking the whole lot for 15 years, which is a maximum period, get the best share rate, and of course the yield, well over 40% if they do that right. So very, very cool. The longer you stake, of course, the higher the APY yield that you're going to get. So pretty nice. I think what monthly is about 13%, and that's just the way it goes. So pretty nice on that. And so yeah, pretty cool. So there's some interesting stuff on there, but also wanted to point out, so this is supply coming into the market. We also, another way of looking at supply is looking at the circulating supply that's been increasing. So we're looking 50 days back, we had the circulating supply was 5572 400 million, and of course that, a majority of that's in the Origin wallet, but the circulating supply changed. Very interesting. It was all decreasing. We had some big days where it increased. That was 50 days ago. And of course, 40 days ago, we had a lot of decreases. We had some big increases there. So you can see the change in supply there. So between the 50th, we're at 5723. And then we went up to 5725. And then 30 days ago, we had started getting increases, right? Which is we had a lot of those stakes coming out. We've been talking about the last 10, last month, lots of stakes in October, November. And then, of course, we have 20 days ago, getting a lot more increases. We have some big days that we have decreases though, and then we've had a lot of increases, and in the last 2 days some decent decreases, which is nice. But 572, 57, it's gone up by a couple hundred million sitting in the market place. So it does explain, what will they do with their liquid? What will these guys do with their stakes? And but once again, once we've passed through this phase and we get a better idea what these future candles look like, and they're going to be lower, right? Because these guys get lower shares. So it's going to be interesting to see that play out. And 2022 looks like a dream with demand increased and supply hopefully less, of course. And it also depends on how much people keep in the circulating supply. So hopefully a lot of them stake and use the system for what it's designed for. That'd be pretty exciting to see that. So very cool indeed. So yeah, logs looking good. Staking's looking good after we get through this little little phase here up to Christmas. And circulating supply, we get seeing some decreases at the moment, and I'd like to see that go down for sure and see the staking go up. That'd be nice. And we've got lots of demand coming in. So let's go back to the liquidity in the pool that we had, 150 mil. Man, that could be eaten up with some a thing like Hex Scale or any whale that's going to go on and start buying. Could really be eaten up pretty fast. You see that price going up as supply gets staked up and more demand comes in. It is very FOMO-ish. And of course, that's pretty viral. Of course, the highest of stakes is going to come in at the end of 2022, and probably in the last quarter is my guess. Maybe earlier, maybe in the third quarter at the end, but that's based on the highest of stakes documentary. But there's lots of other fundamentals coming in 2022 as well, as I say. So pretty cool. So bolds pretty well, folks. I think that's pretty exciting, and hopefully this has been of some interest. And this it's a good place to have everything in one place, right? And we've got the uptrend intact on the log and the linear, and that's bodes well. So onwards and upwards. Come on, Richard. Richard's well now. His fever, at least his fever's finished, so he should be able to do a live stream as he indicated. So we look forward to that, and that should give a bit of spirit to the market as well. Hope you enjoyed that one. We had a couple of new items in there. Feel free to subscribe, like, and definitely share this video around, and hit the bell, of course, for future videos onwards and upwards. And I will catch you again tomorrow for the daily vid. And I hope you enjoy yourself. Bye for now. Cheers.